All right, everyone. So Battlefield 6, we got a update that players aren't too happy about. This is from the gamer.com. Players are turning on Battlefield 6 after spotting what it looks like AI garbage. Once again, from the gamer, we're reading Battlefield 6 has long been poised as the antidote to Call of Duty burnout, foregoing the over the top movement and silly skins for a more methodical shooter that takes itself seriously. However, just 2 months after launch, BF6 already appears to be falling into the same traps as its biggest competitor. Scan through any of Black Ops 7's reviews, most of which are negative, and you'll see the same complaint again and again: AI slop. Players were exhausted when it was plastered throughout Black Ops 6, with the notorious six-figured Santa reaching out to choke the life from the series. But the feelings has always been exacerbated, can't read, in the sequel, as the satisfaction of earning calling cards has been completely diminished by throwaway rewards churned out from a lifeless machine. Unfortunately, despite the unending backlash Activision continues to face, it looks like EA is following suit with Battlefield 6, as players note that the new stickers look suspiciously AI generated, with one featuring an M4A1 that has two barrels. I would literally prefer to have no sticker than some low quality AI generated garbage, said U/Will Cario, who brought this to the community's attention. You can look at BO7 and see how many favors AI generated rewards won with them. And so you can see in the top of the screen here, one of them that someone was complaining about that said player card sticker winter warning, right? And that shows the two barrels. So we put that at the top of the screen. One of the big concerns when AI is used in any aspect of game development, however small, is how deep it runs. Players are now concerned that stickers are only the most obvious example, and that everything from flavor, text, and soldier cosmetics to weapon skins might be using the technology. After taking a look ourselves, we immediately turned up AIR among the community portals, so it's certainly seeping into areas of the game beyond stickers. Okay, so here's the thing, and I think this is super important because two things, in my opinion, can be true at once. On one hand, I don't know if this is the end of the world, right? If you have a Battlefield 6 game that in every other way is awesome, and it just happens they used AI to generate the stickers, sorry, I'm not going to be that upset about it. On the flip side of that, where I think this is a big deal, is two things. First is I understand there is almost like a fear now of these games getting that way, right? As much praise as uh, Battlefield 6 is getting, everybody's still waiting for that moment where EA falls into the same mistakes that Call of Duty did. In this case, that might be one of them, right? And so people are kind of like preempting it, like we're going to complain about every little thing to keep them from going that direction. Understand that. Get it. The other thing is that I just don't understand what these games think people actually want. Okay. They fill their battle passes with so much nonsense and garbage. They fill their games with so much stickers and this and that. We care about like three things to unlock: weapons, the weapon skins, and character skins. Everything else, like, we don't need a million in one of them. And this is why I think a lot of people are so frustrated with these AAA companies, is because what they give us is more that, they constantly use this for promotional material. There's more options than ever. There's more this than ever. In some ways, in terms of actual fact, it's true, right? There's more calling cards, there's more weapon skins, there's more challenges than ever. But when you actually look at them and compare them to what we used to have, you go, oh, but the quality of these is nowhere near what it once was. So I understand that you're putting in more, but it's like instead of you giving us 12 things that are A plus, we're getting 100 things that are like all C minus. Or there's one A plus thing for every 50 things that we get. And that's like, I don't understand why. I understand from the standpoint of these companies are trying to, like, obviously make more money on selling the battle pass, but I just don't know who's buying it for this calling card here, or this sticker, I should say. Like, who's buying it for this reason, And I just think you set yourself up for failure. It's like there's no reason that this backlash had to happen, right? There's no reason that this backlash had to happen. The reason it's happening is because you wanted to put this sticker in the game when nobody would care if this sticker was in the game or not in the game. In fact, because it's clearly AI generated, or you would think it is, I should say, now there's like complaints about it when it's a meaningless item. right? This is not a selling point of the game. It's not like, hey, there's this game mode that is so important to Battlefield 6, we had to put it in and we screwed that up. And now people are pissed. Well, it's like, okay, I get it, right? You had to put that in the game and you messed it up. Understandable. This didn't have to be in the game. Why even put it in the game in any way, shape, or form? That's what I don't fully understand. And I think these companies have to understand that I understand, you have spreadsheets and you have studies. Like that's what was the whole thing with Call of Duty, right? They have all this data on player retention. Nobody cares about it. Okay. Nobody gives a shit about player retention data or what some person who came in and did a study said, well, if we throw more stickers in, more people buy the battle pass. Yes. But at some point, the problem with these studies is that they don't always, even though you have the data, the conclusions you draw from them aren't always correct. And that's the same thing with Call of Duty, right? For so long, Call of Duty had this player retention data that showed them one thing until, guess what? It stopped. And the Call of Duty franchise has now suffered a big defeat to Battlefield, and there's questions on whether it's going to be able to recover from this, right? All the player retention data was showing them, oh, this type of matchmaking works. All the actual real life examples showed the complete opposite. And they decided, though, because of this data, which can only show you a snapshot in time, that actually this is what we should do. And of course, now it's too late for them. Right now, instead of them being in the lead like they were, and they just have to fix it so that they can maintain the lead, now they're behind and they have to find a way to get the lead back. And it's the same with this kind of stuff. I don't give a shit about what data is out there that actually this sticker is, something that, well, the more stickers we have, the more people like it. Don't care. If it is true that people really care about this type of stuff, then guess what? What they should do is just say, okay, we're going to make a bunch of really high quality stickers, right? Instead of any garbage ones. If this is really a selling point, as they may make an argument of, oh, actually, people really care about this stuff, fine. Then make a bunch of high quality ones, right? Don't do a bunch of garbage ones, make them all high quality. If it's true that they care. Of course, they understand that really they don't even believe their own nonsense if they do think that it is this, right? So I understand both of those things of why people are upset about this. I don't think this is the end of the world, but it's just like an unforced error. It's an own goal, in my opinion. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.